Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the more sport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Yo, if your bike is loose in the frame, like if the hardware that all puts it together is not tied down to spec, like it doesn't matter how much horsepower you've got, my friend. It's gonna come apart at high speeds. The fucking shaking of the engine, of everything putting together, of all that horsepower being made against the wind, it's all gonna rattle everything loose if it's not tied down to spec, right? And that's exactly how loyalty works in a man's life, my friend. You see, if your world is loose, if your foundation is built on a whack system, right, then your life is going to rattle apart under pressure, my friend. But a wide open warrior, he doesn't let that happen, my friend. A wide open warrior builds for sustainability. A wide open warrior builds his life to be ready for battle. A wide open warrior sees that it's hard up ahead and still rolls up his sleeves and goes fucking full throttle up ahead. See, like, this shit just reminded me about a little story, right? A quick little story I'll share with you about a friend that I have, right? That I usually call him to go ride, right? But that's all I pretty much call this guy. And I'm not gonna use no friends because it is what it is. Like, I'm gonna always count this, like, if I'm gonna go riding, I probably call this guy. But he's one, right? Who is like, big on the talk, right? Big on the talk. Talks shit, all this stuff, right? And typically he shows up to ride, right? Typically he shows up to ride, but he always shows up late. And what happens is that he never keeps his fucking word, right? Like when you start talking about other areas besides riding, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. He never keeps his word, right? Never. But I contrast that, right, with another buddy who also rides in that crew, right? And everyone can trust on his word. Like when that guy says something, you know that he's gonna follow through with what he says, right? If he says he's gonna be there, he's gonna be there, right? If he says, yo, meet me here at this time, you know that he's gonna meet you there at this time, right? Contrast to the other guy, oh, yo, meet me over here. And then like, you already know because he hasn't showed up previous times. And you're like, I don't know, bro, this probably guy's not gonna show up. Or if he don't show up, it's gonna be late. Or if you know, and they're gonna be waiting for him around. And that shit, I don't like that. Like if you tell me you're gonna be at some place at a certain time, then fucking be at a certain place and at a certain time. Know that your word means a lot to not only you, bro, but to everyone who is around you, right? And so the difference between those two men, right, that I just shared, right, isn't talent, right? The difference between those two men is loyalty, is their word, is how the meaning that they put to what they say and what they mean and how they follow through. The difference is character, right? Because look, loyalty is your foundation, right? Loyalty should be what your life is built upon, right? You need to be a man who can hold up and stay true to what he says he's gonna do, right? Like how you do one thing. This is a philosophy actually that I've applied to my life. And I'm not perfect, dog. Like, you know, I still make mistakes. I still fucking, like, but I'm working my ass off to making sure I go through this. And when I adopted this into my life, everything started to level up because of this one phrase. How you do one thing is how you do everything, my friend. You see, loyalty isn't just about your relationships, right? It's about how you show up in every single fucking area of your life, right? Like if it comes to your relationship, you're a fucking loyalty man. If it comes to your work, you're a loyal man with regards to the people that can count on you there, right? If it comes to showing up for your family, then you're a fucking loyal man and you say and do what you're gonna do, right? But like, if you're someone who cuts corners at work, right? If you're someone who cuts corners in your marriage, if you're someone who cuts corners even in the fucking gym, like if you lie to yourself about what you're gonna do, right? And then you fall short and you say, let's say I don't know. Let's say I'm gonna go run 3 miles, right? And I cut it short at 2 or at 2.5, and I don't hold that myself to that word, to that standard. Then, bro, the minute things get hard for you, you're gonna fucking fail. You're gonna give up. You're not gonna sustain the word and the things that you said that you were gonna fucking do because you can't even hold the word to yourself. Like, you'll lie to yourself when things get hard. And that fucking bullshit ass story that you keep rolling in your head because you can't keep your word is the same fucking reason why you're stuck in the place that you're stuck. I've been through that. And I've, like, man, reflecting back and looking at my life and about times where I was high as fuck and times that I was low as fuck and times where I was like stuck and I couldn't see what was wrong. It all boiled down to me, my word, and what I followed through with the things that I was gonna say, or if I did not follow through with the things that I was gonna say. You see, if people can't trust your own fucking word, then what makes you think you're gonna be able to trust yourself, dog? And so, obviously, we're talking about life. Obviously, we're talking about all areas of life, right? In your fitness, in your work, in how you hold your word to yourself, in your spirituality, and everything, right? But true loyalty, right? We're talking about marriage here for a moment, right? True loyalty to your queen, to your family, to your commitments, all that shit needs to be the backbone of how a wide open warrior operates. You see, a wide open warrior is 150 fucking percent loyal to the woman he chooses. He's 150% loyal to his family. He's 150% loyal to the commitments that he makes. Loyalty is not a convenience, my friend. It's a consistent way of showing up. It's your standard. It's how you hold yourself up in life and how people start perceiving you because of how you show up and the word that you keep to yourself. Like, give you a quick example. Like, when your marriage hits a rough patch, bro, do you run into distraction? Do you just avoid the hard conversations? Do you lie to her? Do you just like fucking blow up on her, right? Or do you double down on doing the work, on making the relationship better, on communicating, right? On fucking putting your ego aside and actually being the man that she needs you to be. That is how you make it long term. Like, how the fuck you think I've made it to 17 years with my wife, right? Yes, we've had ups and downs, but it all boiled down to the loyalty that we have for one another. Like, when your family needs you, do you find excuses or do you make the fucking time? Because most of the time, we don't have the time, right? Like, but we actually prioritize what we want to do, right? And so when someone needs you, right, no matter how tired you are, no matter how long of a week you've been, if it's important to you, you will find the fucking time. Like, as a matter of fact, this past Friday that just passed, it was late. It was like 8:30 p.m. something, bro. I had a long ass week. I was sitting on the couch and I was already falling asleep. And all I wanted to do was go to bed. I had an early morning on Saturday, right? And I get a call from my mother-in-law. And she's like, you can hear it in her voice. Something is wrong. Randy, I need your help. This and that. She's telling me about some issues that she has at her house. And I look at her and I was like, oh shit, babe, something is really wrong. Listen to her voice. And she's like, oh, can you help me with this? And she's like, no, but you can come tomorrow. I was like, no, I'm going to go right now. And literally, we bought some supplies, and we went to go help her that same Friday night. No matter how tired I was, no matter how much I wanted to go to sleep, no matter how long of a week I had, no matter the fucking excuses that I wanted to make, she was counting on me, and I needed to be there for her. And that, showing up when people need you the most, is how you build the loyalty, my friend. You see, being loyal isn't about being perfect. It's about being unshakable. It's about being dependable. It's about no matter what happens, when they call you, you go show up and you be there for them. You see, loyalty, it builds self-respect and it builds self-trust in yourself. When you keep your word to others, you learn to keep your word to yourself. Like, the self-trust is what actually, like, lets you stand tall when life collapses around you. Like, when you have self-trust in yourself, when you follow through with the words you're going to say, when you follow through with the things that you're like, yo, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and you actually follow through with that, no matter how bad you don't want to do that shit builds this internal confidence that fucking helps you make it through the hardest times in life. Like, think of a man who says that he's going to get back in shape. Like I see this, bro, with some of my friends, right? And even people that I don't know. And I've actually been in this position in my life too, right? Oh, I'm gonna get back in shape. Oh, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna wake up early, right? Every kept promise stacks up your confidence, my friend. And so back in the day, and similar with guys that I've seen, they don't keep their promise. Yeah, I want to get in shape. Yeah, I want to do this. Oh, yeah, I want to do. But yet they're not willing to wake up early. They're not willing to hit the gym. They're not even willing to go walk after fucking dinner. They keep making excuses. And I was just like that until I fucking realized, and I look at myself in the fucking mirror and I'm like, yo, you are the fucking problem. You need to get through this. You need to keep your word. If you want this change, then it's up to you to make this shit happen, bro. Like, bro, when it's 5 a.m., nobody's watching me when I'm in the gym hitting weights. Like, I work out in my garage, right? And when it's 5 a.m., I could easily go back to sleep. I could open the garage, I could go inside, and I could fucking go back to sleep. No one's gonna fucking know, right? But I will know, right? I will know. And that's the most important fucking person for you to know. Like, you gotta be able to know who the fuck you are when time gets hard. When the shit's not your way, when it's uncomfortable. And that is why I do it. I wake up at 4 a.m., bro. Every Monday through Friday, 99% of the time, I'm up at 4, right? Do my routine, I wake up, I journal, I drink my green juice, I meditate, I pray, then I go get my workout in. And by 5 a.m., 5:05, something like that, I'm already in my garage, stretching, starting my workout. And nobody's gonna fucking know if I don't do it, but I know if I don't do it, right? And if I lie to myself, that all I'm fucking doing is killing the self-belief, my word, the things that I say I'm gonna do, I'm fucking killing that, man, little by little, right? You see, every time that you break your word, you're literally putting a dent in your own spine. You're fucking punching yourself in the face. And you might not feel it right there, right? But when they all start stacking up and the things start getting hard for you and you know that you can't count on your own word, then you know that you're not going to be able to get ahead. You're not going to be able to get through the hard times. Because every time that life gets challenging for you, you give up. Every time that things don't go your way, you find an excuse to not go all in, right? But if you do it, and if you hold your word, no matter how much it sucks, and you still show up, and you know that with the things that you say you're gonna do, you actually follow through with them. You literally build your armor. You build your internal confidence. You build the warrior inside of you. And time after time of showing up like that, you start feeling on fire. And then that starts it starts bleeding out into your relationships. It starts bleeding out into your coworkers. It starts bleeding out into how people perceive you. It starts bleeding out into how people see who you are and what you do and how you follow through with the words that you say. And then what happens is people start looking at you like, yo, this fucking guy, I can really count on him. That guy, when he says he's gonna do something, he follows through with it. But if you can't even follow through with the things that you say for yourself, then what makes you think that other people are gonna be able to count on you, my friend? And so this leads me to this one question I have for you today. If everyone in your life, right, was asked right now, right, like the most important people that matter for you in your life, right, if they were asked, can they count on you? What would be their answer? And my challenge for you this week, right, is I want you to pick one area in your life where you've been half-assing this shit, bro. And I want you to close that gap. I want you to show up and give it full throttle. I want you to show up and give it your full commitment. I want you to hold your word and make it unbreakable. I want you to set the standard of what you're willing to allow in your fucking life, my friend. Because loyalty isn't just what you give to others. Loyalty is the promise that when life goes to hell, you can count on yourself to get right back up and give it the hell that you need to get ahead, my friend. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground and I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts who are to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back and let's become the badass motherfuckers that we're all meant to be. Breaking the stereotype is exactly what we're here to do. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others level up is the mission that God has tasked us with. Bro, if you still haven't subscribed yet, smash that fucking button so you never miss another episode. And if you resonated today with today's message, if it felt home, if you felt like it connected, It's time to contribute to the growth of this mission, my brother. Send this podcast episode to another brother, to another motorhead, to another gearhead, to another man who's on the same mission as we are, because leveling up is non-negotiable. And your future version of you, your family, your peers, your friends, everyone is counting on you, my brother. And it's time to get to fucking work. I'll catch up with you on the next episode, but till then, live your life wide open, my friend.